Lift up the knee a little bit, okay? So it's a little bit more comfortable for them. So it's not compressing so much. So especially if they're not really that flexible, it's going to be a lot more comfortable for them. And again, roll up a towel if you need to, because it works better with these half bolsters. The full round ones, it's going to be too high then to actually incorporate this. But again, you can actually, these areas you can actually compress all the way up and all the way down then too, okay? And if you don't have access to a bolster, what you can actually do is rotate it out like this. Just place your arm underneath like this, so you can actually stimulate these acupressure points, the meridians too, this way, okay? So again, it's going to be a little bit more comfortable if they cannot stretch that way. So again, some people aren't that flexible, so just make sure you're more aware of that then, okay? So for the next one too, what you can actually do is put your elbow more in the glute region, like this. You can actually kind of go in different areas, okay? Just lift it up. Okay. Now we're going to move to the more the feet region. Okay, for the feet region, you can actually use your knuckles. This usually works pretty good. And you think this looks painful, but the majority of people are just going to love this kind of technique. And just make sure the toes aren't bent like this when you're putting pressure, okay? Just make sure they're totally straight. Do a visual analysis of the whole body first. And you can also use your knees in this region too then, okay? So then you can also, when you're using your knees in this region, you can actually walk up the body with the techniques too. And it's all about, make sure when you're performing these, make sure you're aware of your own body mechanics. Make sure if you ever hurt in any position, make sure you alter them a little bit then, okay? But if you are in an awkward position, like you're bent over so much, just make sure you're kind of moving your body around a little bit to help stretch it out then, as much as you can then. So again, you can actually use your knees, or you can actually use your knuckles or your palms right in the feet region, okay? Okay. Then you can also, both sides at the same time. Some people will actually stimulate the legs at the same time. So again, it all depends on how much time frame you have, because the average Shiatsu session is maybe half an hour to hour long. But half an hour is just for one treatment area, hour is usually full body. But if possible, if you can get them in for an hour and a half or maybe even 2 hours, that might be too long for somebody. But the longer you can have, the better. Especially if you have a larger person, they have more area to cover. But if you have like a 100-pound woman, hour is more than sufficient. But if you have a 250-pound guy, I mean, you're going to need a little bit of extra time to actually access all these areas then, okay? So again, all depends on what kind of pressure they can handle too then, okay? Okay, so again, all the techniques that we incorporate on the back, you incorporate on the legs and the back of the arms too this way. So it's sufficient that way, okay? For the belief on what direction to go with the Shiatsu technique, some people believe to start at the feet, going up to the head region, and then the head region when they're supine position, face up, and then down to the feet. Other ones believe when they're supine, face up, to actually start at the feet, going up the body, the face region, flip them over, and then the head going back down. So again, it's more of a belief system, but the main thing with Shiatsu is the meridians, where they start and where they end. Try to start with the techniques where they start and end where they actually end then, okay? So that's kind of the belief behind those kind of techniques then, okay?